is going on, everybody? It is Frank the Tank, and today we are looking at another bowling ball that I reviewed in the past. This time we're going to be looking at the Phaze 2. So, been a while since I last touched the Phaze 2. I mean, I have been using it off camera, but on camera, been a while, that's for sure. I think it has to be at least over a year now since I last did that review of the Phaze 2. And like I've said in my, like a couple other videos that I did already, a lot has changed. My approach has changed, my ball speed has changed. The ball itself has gone through quite a lot since that last video. I played God knows how many games on it, well over 80 games, that's for sure. And I haven't had it like restored whatsoever. I haven't had it sanded, tossed in the oven to get the oil removed, none of that. What's amazing is that even after all that, that the Phaze 2, my Phaze 2 has gone through, it still holds up very, very well, which is crazy. But one thing that I will say, the only changes that the Phaze 2 has undergone in that year is I've changed the sizes of my grips so that I can put my fingers down a little farther. Not really a big change there. One big change is this. Take a look at the Phaze 2. So this is what it looks like out of the box. Obviously, you guys know it has that solid look to it. And here is my Phaze 2 now. Look at that. Seriously, like that is some insane looking polish that they added to my ball. So let me explain this to you guys. So when you have a bowling ball that has that solid cover stock on it, that gives it that solid look, eventually after you put a number of games on it, it's going to have what they call lane shine, and it's basically going to lose that solid look a little bit and look, you know, a little more shiny. And as you can see on my Phaze 2, here it is again. It looks way too shiny. It looks like it's been like seriously polished. And let me tell you the story of what happened there. So I can't remember exactly when it happened, but I know it happened sometime last year. I was using the ball. I was practicing. I wasn't at the lanes where my pro shop guy works. I was at a different set of lanes and in a completely different place. And they had a pro shop as well. Not that great, but I don't really go there. But luckily they were open at the time that this happened, because otherwise I don't know what I would have done. But yeah, I threw the ball down the lane. It came back to the ball return, and it had all these belt marks, and the ball was just dirty as hell. And those belt marks made the ball all sticky, and I didn't have any like ball cleaner to, like, you know, clean the ball off. And I knew that it was probably going to need some serious tough scrubbing to get those belt marks off of it. So I took it to that pro shop, and the lady that was there, I told her, look at this. This happened. Is there anything you could do? And she said, yeah, I'll put it on the spinner thing, and I'll, like, you know, scrub the hell out of it to get those belt marks out. I went back to my lanes. I played with another ball, and then when she came back with my ball, it came back all polished like that. So I don't know what she did to it. Maybe one of you guys know what that is. But yeah, now it's all like seriously polished, and that stuff has not come off since. And I decided to leave it like that because for me, personally, that whatever that polished stuff is, it made my ball look cool, and I kind of liked it, so I just left it that way. And I don't know why. I know this. I don't think that polish did anything to the reaction of the ball, but for some reason, it like my ball now like works better for me. Like I strike a lot more with it. I'm easily able to score more high with it. And I know that like sanding your ball with those like sand pads, like to add more surface or to like make it more shiny, that's what really changes the reaction of the ball. So I doubt that that polished stuff that she added to it did anything to it. But maybe it's just all in my head that polished stuff did anything to my ball. I don't know. But for some reason, the ball works better for me now after all of that. But anyway, that's really all that Phaze 2 has undergone. So now we're going to go ahead, take this one to the lanes, and we're going to see how that Phaze 2 holds up after so many games played. And yeah, basically after 1 year. So let's go ahead and let's get to lanes and see the changes.
plus right. That were broken up that time by some friendly messengers.
This is just filthy. I mean, title match, you don't want to fall behind. The 410 is standing. He catches that break. Man, it was just like he heard Maury say, "You are not the father." Shot. Yes, sir. Yahtzee!
Okay, so there you guys have it. That is the Phase 2 Part 2, and as I would have expected, another improvement based on what I did in my Part 1 review over a year ago. And yeah, I'm amazed, honestly, that this thing still holds up really nicely after, you know, that 1 year, because as I mentioned, a lot has happened, you know, with this ball in that 1 year that, since that I made that video a year ago. I mean, I played a ton of games on this thing. Again, I still don't remember how many, but it's just unbelievable. And, you know, I just can't believe that this thing still holds up really well. I mean, eventually I'll have to get it tossed in the oven and sanded and everything restored back to normal, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. For some reason, I really like the ball the way it looks now, because, you know, as I mentioned, the ball usually, it comes out with a solid finish, and mine is like insanely polished, but you know, it's kind of worn off quite a bit. I mean, it's still there, but it's not as like it was when, you should have seen it when I first got it back from the lady who cleaned the ball for me. And you know, like, she added that polished stuff to it because it was insanely shiny. It was like a whole different bowling ball. It was crazy. But yeah, some of it has worn off now. I don't know if I could like take it to the pro shop and get this stuff off, but one thing's for sure is I'm probably not going to do that, because I don't know, I just like the way the ball looks now. So yeah, I'm probably just going to keep it like that. But yeah, game 1, I played at my normal pace. Ball held up really, really nicely. Reaction was good. Went through the pins with power. Loved it. Game 2, immediately I decided to start hooking the entire lane, because I felt like game 1 was enough for you guys to see what the ball does if I played at my normal pace. So that's why I just immediately for game 2 I decided to jump to just moving far left, and you could see it was something I didn't expect to see it, because, you know, like I said, I put a ton of games on this ball, and I expected it not to hook so much, because, you know, after having played more than 90 games on it, you'd think that it would lose like its hook potential just a little bit, but this thing hasn't lost it at all. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, you can see in the first couple of frames I had to spare it out, because I was trying to figure out how far left I needed to move, and you could see I eventually had figured it out. I had to start lofting, but in a way I will probably, like, I admit that lofting probably wasn't necessary, because, you know, obviously you could see the ball traveling down the lane really, really slowly, and that's probably why I had to start lofting. I know I probably could have just like stayed where I was in that at the beginning of the second game and just increased the speed, but you know, I just didn't want to take that risk and waste too many frames trying to figure out the speed, so I just resorted to lofting. And I know this is going to sound weird, but for some reason, lofting the ball like I was doing made it easier for me to find the pocket. I know that sounds weird, because obviously lofting is some tough stuff, but it was just easy for me for some reason to find the pocket doing that. And then game 3, I just, you know, decided to scramble it up. I mean, I didn't really have a game plan there. I didn't know what I was going to do, because game 1 I played at my normal pace. Game 2 I hooked the entire lane. So game 3 I just decided to, you know, just do whatever. And yeah, game 3, part of the reason why I just decided on whatever was because you could see I decided to just mess around in that third game while I was doing that third game, because I couldn't strike. You get so many 9 spares in that third game. You know, I tried hooking the entire lane. It seemed like I was hitting so many pocket hits. I don't think those shots in the third game where I like just tossed the ball down there with power, I don't know if I hit the pocket or not, but I know hooking the entire lane, I think I hit the pocket, left a lot of 10 pins. You know, I just wasn't getting it done in game 3, but luckily I managed to spare my way through and keep the game clean up until that 10th frame. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really know. Maybe you guys can help me figure out what happened in that third game. I mean, I honestly think I was probably just very unlucky. But I will say, I was a little bit nervous when I saw the entire game 3, because I'm the type of guy that when I have to spare an entire game to get a high game, I eventually miss at least one spare. But luckily, I managed to keep it alive. So that was good for me. And I think it's funny if you look at the final results right after I played those games, you could see in there that the same thing that happened in the part 1 video happened in this one. The scores went down as the games passed by. And I think that was pretty funny, but obviously the scores were higher on this one. And then that game 3, I just noticed when I looked back at the results on my part 1 video that I finished not, like literally just a couple of pins out from the game 3 in my part 1 video. I can't remember what I got in part 1, like 195, and then with this one, just one off of a 200, but you know, whatever. What's done is done, and now I can put this one to rest. And yeah, if any of you are wondering, no, I'm not putting this one up. This one is mine to keep. I always knew I was going to have this one stay in my main arsenal, and it's going to continue to stay there because it has not failed me. So that is Phase 2, Part 2. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be catching you in the next one. Again, I don't know what it is. I'll leave you guys to guess that one out. Later.